I can figure out how to squeeze some time out in October, I'll come out and go up to the trailhead at the top of the canyon with Justin and, come down that 27-mile trip and catch all these leaves when they're, turning yellow. I always like to have an excuse to come back to someplace like this again and again and again. And hopefully some good paintings will come out of it.
Is there anything that you've seen that, like, you can just feel it's going to turn into a painting?
There was one or two shots that we were on Canyon Walls yesterday that looked pretty promising to me, at least. I hope so. It's always a surprise when you get your film back. Sometimes you get shots, you thought, I thought that was marginal, and then all of a sudden it becomes the best thing you took in the whole trip. Because you can figure out how to use it and make it dramatic. Oh yeah. Mostly what I'm looking for, though, is values to get shadow and light. And then the color doesn't, of the walls or of the film doesn't restrict what I'm going to do with it at this point. I mean, I'll change, actually even the green trees, I can change those in the fall if I want to. Or add more saturated oranges and golds on the canyon walls than what, might be apparent at some given part of the day. So all I really need the stuff for is just a reference, point of departure. Well, not while I'm composing, taking photographs. Composing, yes, back in the studio. Yeah, that's a whole different notion.
How so?
Well, because I start adding all kinds more elements. I've got time to focus, concentrate, and I can think in symbolic terms or ironic terms, or sometimes something might turn into a caption painting, and suddenly something that's as innocent as these canyon walls, takes on a social or political commentary, depending on what I might put in the foreground. Well, let's just say I love doing paradox or contradictory subject matter. I mean, I can be on one side of an issue and then turn right around and, paint this, the same sort of situation, but in a 180-degree different political stance. I like to investigate and not always leave a viewer with, oh, this is what Shank thinks. This is his position, politically on this issue. Because by the time I do, several different paintings, maybe even over the course of a decade or 2 decades, you'll see a variety of political stands. So really nobody knows where I stand, which is just fine with me. Yeah, I kind of attacked Nixon lately. I did a painting of Richard Nixon, a portrait of Richard Nixon along with Andy Warhol. And another painting where Richard Nixon is involved in some manner with John Wayne's life, but John Wayne is actually not in the painting. But it really skews history by what I'm doing with those caption paintings. And if you don't know your history, some individuals come away believing what I put in those captions and just say, wow, I never knew that about it before, when in fact it wasn't true at all.
That's kind of some of what's going on in Pocahontas too, isn't it?
Oh yeah, very much so. There's so much symbology going on in that painting on so many different levels, skewing history, using myth, people's prejudice, cultural prejudice, and wrapping it all together in one image. I think that one was one of the all-time successful ones of my work. I certainly strive for the potential for relevance. That's to my mind, the only true immortality that exists is that if you can live on in the minds of other people after you're gone, you could actually be in a conversation. 50, 80, 100 years, 200 years after you left this earth. And now we're back at home base. Yeah, I like that idea of the coyote. If I can be identified as the Wile E. Coyote, I'll take it.